now they're pushing out. They forced 20 turnovers by the Sixers, which turned into 28 points. You turn the ball over, now all of a sudden you get runouts. You get guys get laying up. You get Seth Curry running to the three-point line. Yep. You see Kyrie ran to the three-point line, hit one right before the end of the first quarter. They played well. Give them credit, Skip. Yep. For me, I don't want to make it too much about the Sixers because the Sixers didn't play well. But I like to think the Brooklyn Nets had a lot to do with that. They did a lot of getting their hands on the ball because they know James Harden has to bring the ball up. They did a great job of getting the ball out without fouling him because they could have easily put him on the free throw line. They didn't do that last night. Give them credit. And you cannot let Kyrie and KD go off because if you let both of those guys get locked in, you got a long, long night. Unless you got a Jason Tatum on the other side or a guy on the other side that's cooking, that's matching them shot for shot, you're going to get blown out like they got blown out last night.
Is it fair to say, Mr. Sharp, that the Nets have the two best scorers in basketball?
Yeah.
Like
on the same team.
The skill set is just like off the charts.
Yeah.
It's like top 5 all-time skill set. I'm talking about just bags, if you want to go bags.
Yeah, you talk about
ability to make shots.
Offensive guys on one team.
Firepower.
In their prime.
Okay, so when they cook, when both of them cook, and they don't have to score 50 because they scored almost 50 together.
Right.
But if Kevin's going to get 25 and Kyrie's going to get 22, and let's not sleep on Seth Curry getting 24
on 10 of 14.
On 10 of 14, and he's going to make 4 of 8 threes. And if Patty Mills is going to come off the bench and not play that much, but he makes 2 threes, and to your point, James Johnson makes 3 threes. There's so much firepower involved here. It's hard to deal with it because where do you plug your leak? There are too many leaks that are going to be sprung all over your defense.
Exactly. Skipping, the thing was they shot 56% from the floor. The only thing that they didn't do well last night is shoot the ball from the free throw line. They were 9 of 17 from the free throw line, or it might have gotten worse than what it actually got.
Yeah.
Because Joel was minus 30, James Harden was everybody, all the starters were at least minus 23.
Okay, and your man, the ex-Laker, the Big Penguin, Andre Drummond, as they call him, Big Drum.
What if smartphones were more than just smart? The all-new Google Pixel 6 makes distractions instantly disappear with the most advanced smartphone camera yet. Google Pixel 6.
Steph says the former MVP, quote, definitely has my support. Steph also added, it's the nature of the beast. They build you up to break you down. The real ones who have done amazing things in this league know what that means. He's a professional, and I'm proud of the way he's conducting himself. Strong words. Shannon, do you like what Steph said?
I love it. And that's what the great players do. They support the guys, and because it is a brotherhood. You hear that often a lot, Skip. MLB, football, basketball. This is a brotherhood. I like the fact that Steph, but I tell you what we'll do, Steph. Since you support him so much, how about trading us Kuminga and Poole, and we'll give you Russ? If you got his back, you support him that much, do that.
That's a good call.
Everybody,
I like that.
I'm going to support you, but I don't want to play with you.
That is correct.
See, that's what that is.
Because nobody's ever wanted to play
exactly. Skip it. Hold on. Russ said booing didn't bother him. Why would I take it home? If they boo, they can take their ass home. I ain't worried about that. It doesn't bother me. Nobody is condoning threats You should not say, I hope you die, I'm going to kill you, your wife, your kids, anything like that.
Obviously.
But you can't say because they're criticizing your husband, those are threats. That is not a threat. Okay, if you say the hate comes along with being a professional athlete, especially if you were good or great at one point in time. He's not the player that he once was. I saw that his wife retweeted where someone said that if he was on the Orlando Magic, they would be a playoff team. She's absolutely right. You know why? There's no expectation for the Orlando Magic. So they would be in the play-in with a chance to get to the playoffs. She's absolutely correct. But when you play for the Lakers, there's an expectation. So guess what happens, Skip? Every game, every shot, every dribble, every pass gets critiqued. Where if you're in Orlando, nobody gives a damn. The last time they gave a damn about Orlando, Shaq and Penny was playing. Okay, Dwight Howard had 5 or 6 great years there. But for the most part, they go to Orlando to go to Disney. They ain't going to see no Magic.
They had their one moment in the sun against Kobe in the finals.
Yeah, with Dwight.
Yeah, at LeBron's expense.
Yeah. So, Skip, I get it. There's a lot of players that don't want their families to come to the game because of the obscenities, because of the profane language, because of the thing that's going to be spewed. All Russ has to do is play better. Skip, street clothes, they call AD always Dean, Pandemic Pete. Everybody was saying Pandemic Pete. Guess what Paul George did? He didn't complain. He said it almost broke him. He said being there, being away from his family, missing his wife, missing his daughters. He said he going through mental thing. Everybody even mocked him for saying he was going through something mental. Paul George put his head down and almost, without Kawhi, got his team to the NBA Finals.
He did.
Paul George changed the narrative.
He did.
Called Lemon Pepper Lou. Everybody was mocking Lemon Pepper Lou.
You started.
Lou monetized it. Nick got shirts, and he's selling it. All Russ has to do is play better. Where is Russ' culpability in this? Where is Russ going to own responsibility and says, I played bad this year. My play hasn't been up to par. Instead of trying to make it about they shaming my name and trying to bring the kids in it, because everybody like, man, come on, Shannon, lay off Russ. Ain't nobody talking about Russ' kids. I don't talk about Russ' kids. I don't talk about his mom. I don't talk about his brother. I don't talk about his family.
You do not.
I'm talking about his horrible play that has been consistently on display this season, playing for a team. Although Russ didn't have expectations, when have you known the Lakers not to have expectations?
They're the most famous team in pro basketball.
I wish when he said I didn't have any expectations, I wish he had told AD and LeBron and Rob Pelinka that before they signed him. Tell them, now I don't have any expectations. I got none. So I don't know what you guys are expecting you're going to get from me or what you expect this season to be, but I have no expectations. I wish he had said that first, not after they signed and get 45 games into the season.
What happens, again, this Sunday night at 9 o'clock on HBO, a series will continue called Winning Time about the dynasty, the Showtime dynasty of the Lakers. Featuring Magic Johnson. We'll talk about it here at some point pretty soon on this show. But the point is...
John C. Reilly does look like a Mr. Bug, though.
He's too goofy for me, but I was around...
The original,
but the point is, how many other teams would have a series done on HBO about them? It's fiction loosely based on fact.
Correct.
And how many others would have that? Maybe the Celtics, but I doubt it. Because this was Showtime. This was Hollywood. Russ came to Hollywood. It was his childhood dream to be the point guard for the Los Angeles Lakers. And right on schedule, Deepak Chopra dropped a documentary on Russell Westbrook's life and times that LeBron attended at the premiere, which was just before the first game tipped. Right? Okay. So the point is, the expectations are through the ceiling of what was then Staples Center, right? For Russ to come home, he'd averaged triple-doubles 4 of the last 5 years, slam dunk first ballot Hall of Famer. I'd say the expectations on Russ this year were the most on any player in the league. In the league.
Except for him, he didn't think he was when he went on Jimmy Fallon, and he was when I got somebody small on me, I gotta rock him, I gotta put him to sleep. Nobody said anything because it's about basketball. That's a part of basketball. Okay, you too small. And everybody started doing this. Oh, you too small. Bricks are you shoot a shot like, man, you throwing up bricks. Now all of a sudden, and he's shooting, it's like he's throwing up bricks. Now all of a sudden he wants to change. What he's trying to do, Skip, don't talk about my bad play. I'm gonna misdirect it and talk about my kids. I can't bring my kids to the game. My wife, my mom. They shouldn't want to come to the game because you playing bad. Play better.
Correct.
At what point in time I want guys to take responsibility and stop talking about the fans and what the fans are doing. They're doing what you allow them to do. I've never seen fans boo somebody that go give you 30, somebody that go give you 40, 50, 60. But I've seen a boo when you turn the ball over 10 times and you're a championship contending team for what they thought, and you play nothing like it.
Okay. And by the way, Russ did give them 30 the other night.
Right.
And at least he was not the reason they lost at Houston, right?
I came out the next day and said, Russ played really well.
You did.
I don't know, Skip, I turned the sound on a little bit last night because I want to see what the Philly fans, they were born in the 60s. Who knew? You mean to tell me fans boo when they see bad play?
Good point.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my
Who would have knew?
Okay, back to Mrs. Westbrook. I complimented her Saturday night or Sunday on Twitter because she so passionately is defending her husband. It's a beautiful thing for me to watch. I love how Ernestine will fight for me and defend me. Love that. But this whole idea of the, as she called them, death wishes, to your point, it's out there for everybody. I'm sure you've gotten them. Maybe you don't know. I know I've gotten a whole bunch of them because it dates back to 2012 for me. And it started with my criticism of Russ versus Kevin Durant in 2012 when we went back to Oklahoma City, my hometown, for the finals, and I needed a bodyguard. Okay, so the point is, this is out there. Her problem is you shouldn't go on Twitter at all. If you start scanning all of Russ's mentions, you're going to see some evil mentions. But I'm not trying to encourage it or accept it. It's just it's the way of life out on Twitter. It's an evil place.
Most of the things that I read is that they want him off the Lakers.
Yeah.
They don't want anything bad to happen to him. They want him gone from the Lakers.
They want him gone from the Lakers. So just to keep this in perspective, as we speak, he is the single worst three-point shooter in all of basketball.
Yes.
And as we speak, he is now, because he made 7 of 8 at Houston, he is vaulted all the way up from third worst free throw shooter to, fourth worst to third worst to fourth worst. That's what it is. He's now the 4th worst free throw shooter in basketball. Is that good? No. Does he now still lead in overall turnovers the NBA? Yes, he leads the NBA in turnovers. Well, that's a terrible combination, right? You can't shoot, and you turn the ball over at the highest rate.
And we already know you never go play defense.
Okay.
And Skip, I've never said that the reason why the Lakers are losing is solely on Russ. There are a lot of factors to why the Lakers hadn't fulfilled what a lot of people thought they were going to be. But this notion that somehow Russ has turned himself into a sympathetic figure.
He has.
Based on his play.
Yeah.
Bruh, nobody's criticizing you as a man, as a father, as a husband. Strictly, Skip, I talk about an individual strictly on what they do on his or her given sport. It's the diamond, the court, the football field, the tennis court, the golf course. That's what we talk about. I'm not talking about Russ. By all indications, he's a model husband.
Yes.
He's a model son.
Agreed.
A model brother and father.
Agreed.
That is great.
Yeah.
But as a basketball player this year, he's been less than impressive.
Well, to put it
mildly. But somehow, oh, man, y'all shaming my name. Bruh.
No, you're shaming.
You. That's on you. You the one that did that.
Okay, so what do we know about his history? We know that Kevin Durant said, I can't win with him. I want out. I'm going to Golden State.
Yeah.
We know that James Harden finally concluded, I don't want any part of him. I want out. I want to go to the Nets, right? We know that Paul George eventually concluded, I can't do this. I thought it would work, but it won't work. And Kawhi had a chance to bring Russ to the
I'm good.
No, I'm good.
Well, he said he was so good, I ain't calling him back.
I won't
return no call.
Okay, so what does all that add up to tell you? Is it poor Russ, or right now is it poor Laker Nation? Because to me, it's poor Laker Nation.
Exactly. And all the teams that Russ took. Skip, when has OKC, Houston, Washington, when have they ever been thought of as the Lakers? There's only one team that says, you know what? We're in the same room with the Lakers at the same long.
I know you got That jam, I give her 50 and gotta ask. 300, that's my warrior now. Don't be my fucking rest in peace, nigga. You would say it so.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna take it back to there. That's where it's
Mvaka. Now, so you know, shout out to New Hampshire.
Oh, put some, go ahead, nigga. Tell on some niggas. Go ahead. I ain't doing no snitching. I ain't doing some snitching. You know that nigga told on me, but that's another story, man. I ain't doing no snitching. You know what I mean? But you know, at the end of the day, you here. Unbelievable journey. The growth is unbelievable. The first time, like I always tell them, the first time I seen you was on the field, you know, Chicago on World Star, and now you just out of here. You a big dog in the game. And what's different between you and a lot of artists is they you know, they not representing something. You representing. You're the voice of the people that the world forgot about, the trenches, and that's extraordinary because like we you know in the ghetto we don't trust too many people to be our representative, you know, and but we you know we chose you to be the voice of us because you speaking from a place of struggle, you people speaking from a place of pain, you speaking from a place of incarceration, you speaking from a place of death, and you doing a hell of a job, man, and like where did it come from when you go into that booth, man? Where did that shit come from? You know, when where'd you pull them from?
It should be coming from here. You know what I'm saying? Come from the world, come from the city. You know what I'm saying? Tay-Town, you know what I'm saying? Lemron, 300. Like, it's like we been through so much shit and niggas like they scared to talk about it. Or they can talk about it, but voice ain't big enough. You know what I'm saying? So I just buckled down and started speaking that shit.
Yeah, see, and that's what it's about. And it's like, it's just a growth from when you begin, you know, when you first started, you look at your shit. It's just like you kept working on your craft. Some people put music out and they just like, all right, cool. You just kept putting tape out. Each tape, you got better. The lyrics got better. The rhyming got better. The delivery got better.
Yeah.
The body language got better. What is it about, you know, because a lot of young cats watching this and they want to be rappers. A little homies from around the way watching and want to be rappers. From right here, dudes in the back.
Yeah.
What is it about, man? Discipline, and how do you stay consistent?
No, I've been doubted. You know what I'm saying? By the world. You know what I'm saying? When being able to go to shows and do music, you know what I'm saying, we weren't getting the support that we supposed to be getting. You know what I'm saying? We feel like we was global, so it's like, are we global coming to our show? Niggas want to go on supporting us and shit, you know what I'm saying? But really my motivation was like, outside of my kids, my family was growing up being locked up. We had Zoo locked up at the same time, Didi locked up at the same time, Rondo. So it was like, shit, we need jail money. Motherfucker, we rapping all this rich shit, woo-woo, and really ain't even have it for real, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we got to deal with that, make sure they straight, make sure they family straight. I got to make sure I'm straight. So it's like we got to beat the odds.
Why is it that a lot of times when artists they get on, they be up, but I walk in this room and everybody dealing with you like they see you every day. Why you never left?
It's how you move. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and this is what I be telling everybody. It's like when you a rapper, you high end. It's like the people that's in the trenches or below, that's not where you at, they still get looked at as you. So it's like, if everybody in the city rapping, they homies fresh as hell, and I'm rapping, I got money, but my homies bogus as hell, they already be looking like they're gonna take care of his nigga. You know what I'm saying? And that's all he preach about, that's all he, you know what I'm saying? I always look at like, I ain't gonna be able to take care of everybody, you know what I'm saying? But I made a way for a motherfucker to eat. Like if I take care of one and I know he can take care of 10, like that's what I do.
Yeah.
They can vouch for that.
And see, that is very important because, you know, a lot of times you come up and you just, you know, people just disappear. And it's like, it's hard for people to connect because, you know, everybody telling you to separate. The industry telling you, the executives, they get you in the rooms, they be like, yo, man, you know, fuck your people, man. They separate dudes from managers. They separate dudes from people that was down from day one, putting $1 to them and just being there in their corner. They say, you don't need them no more. Come fuck with us. And I know it had been situations with you, but I know they'd give you offers. You can't, you know, average motherfucker wouldn't refuse to separate yourself. Had that ever happened?
Hello? Oh, no, it's okay. I'll just come out right now. Alright.
They really be like, yo, man.